Well, good evening, everyone. Michael, soothing here, with some special iced tea. It's not really special, it's just we found a real bargain way to make Diet Peach Snapple. Getting this box of 6 packets, which makes about, each one makes, I'd say about a quart. So it's $1 for 6 quarts. And you know that Diet Snapple's $3 or $4 in the store for just one bottle, smallish bottle. So this is a pretty good deal. And I wanted to do some ear to ear with the ice cubes because I finally have this Tascam microphone set the way I want it to be. Here's the Tascam. So we're gonna do a little bit of ear to ear on this thing, but with ice cubes. And this is a little experiment for me and for you, because I have a secret method of producing echo in this room, and we're going to try it ear to ear with echo, and ear to ear. We'll try ear to ear with echo, and we'll try ear to ear without echo. So first, we'll see how we do. I need to try a sip of this before I do too much more cube rattling. I've listened to ASMR before where there were ice cubes, and I liked that effect. I found it relaxing. So I'm hoping you will too. And before you send me notes saying, "Oh, you're using a plastic straw," heaven forbid, it's an ecological nightmare. You're gonna have to do prison time. Let me just mention that although I'm well familiar with the problems of the Pacific garbage patch and all the plastics in the ocean, being as a lot of it washes up on the Oregon coast, virtually all of that stuff comes from Asia across the Pacific. I think I mentioned this to you recently in another video. You can look it up for yourself if you don't believe me, but the chances of this particular plastic straw, for example, this plastic straw right here, the chances of it showing up in the ocean out in the Pacific by where I live are approximately 1.6 to the 27th power times 10 trillion to 1. In other words, there is 0 chance that this straw will make its way to the Pacific Ocean. And it gets squished so tiny in landfills that it really doesn't have an impact there either, compared to the 99.9% of 999% of the other stuff that's in there. So the vilification of plastic straws along the west coast of the United States has actually been greatly overdone. The biggest contributor of plastic into the Pacific Ocean happens to be the Yangtze River in China, believe it or not. And then there's a whole bunch of other contributors. Indonesia, Malaysia, and some of the southeastern nations along the South China Sea and places like that. Not much from Japan, but we got some from Japan after the tsunami. A lot of that stuff washed across the ocean because that's the way the current goes. We don't really have any plastics going out to sea here. If there are any, it's a very tiny fraction of what's out there, less than 1%. I'm going to do a newspaper reading soon. Let's see what this sounds like. I picked up a couple of papers today from the casino where I play poker, and I'll tell you how I did. But I think first I'm going to take away the echo effect and see if you like it better without or with. I'm going to see if you could vote in comments. All right, so let me pause. All right, we're back. This time with no echo effect. So you be the judge. Is it better? The sounds, I mean, with an echo, or is it better now without an echo? Better without, or better with? I don't know. My own preference varies because I've experimented. It depends on the material. It depends on what I'm doing. My own perception is that with echo, we get a slightly fuller, sort of like when in music, if you do reverberation, which is a type of echo, it gives you a slightly fuller and more vibrant sound. Without it, it's a little bit flat. But on the other hand, there's a slightly strange, mysterious, and unnatural quality to the echo, and so I don't know which is better. As I was saying, soon I will do newspaper reading again because a lot of people like that and it's relaxing, and I enjoy doing that, even though I've done several of them already. So you tell me in comments whether you like the natural sound or the slight echo in the room, okay? I think next time when I do newspaper reading, I'll do it with some big league chew because I'm getting requests for chewing gum video. I'm also getting requests for an all whisper video. And to preserve my voice, I think I'll whisper through the rest of this, even though they say whispering is worse for your voice than speaking. It's tough on the vocal cords, apparently. Here, let me show you this up close. Nice, attractive color. Even if it looks slightly like, I don't know what. It looks a little like rum. Maybe I should dump a little rum in it. It might make for a more interesting peach tea. What do they call that in the South when they have lemonade with bourbon in it? I think there's a word for it, but I can't remember. It's sweet enough now. I can't even put, I can only use about a fourth of one of these little packets. And they come 6 in a box. 6 in a box. Doesn't that look like a nice little peach? It's an attractive little peach. Since I only use a fourth to a third, I get a minimum of 18 peach teas for only $1, okay? And the plus side is, speaking of excessive plastics and recycling and so forth, the plus side is no bottle to deal with, no having to store or recycle or return the bottle, no having it taking up space in the fridge. So that's the plus side as well. I really should be getting paid for this advertisement for Dollar Tree. I'm gonna go talk to them and say, hey, if I'm gonna pitch you guys, I need sponsorship. Okay? Just kidding, I'm not gonna. This is interesting because Joanne will do a video soon for her channel, Scorpio NYT. She does mostly mukbang and goodies, various types, eating goodies. And she found this Safeway today. It is a giant fall cupcake, you know, like pumpkin type theme, Halloween, a little bit Halloweeny, I would say, or just fall. It's called a jumbo gourmet cupcake chocolate, but it costs $3. Not much of a bargain, but nonetheless, it's certainly an attractive visual. I don't think she can eat the whole cupcake. I think she'll eat maybe a third of it and give me a couple bites, and then we'll save some. I can't eat all that frosting on top, you know, it's too rich, and I have to limit sugar because of the diabetes issue, right? So, look at this thing, it's got 680 calories, my gosh. Is that what it says? No, I was dyslexic. It's even worse than I said. 760 calories. Holy mackerel. One tiny bite without the frosting, or just a little bit of the frosting. That's what I can have. Not much more than that. Do you like the ear-to-ear stereophonic? You need to use earbuds or headphones if you want to get the effect with this kind of a stereo binaural microphone. Another thing I'll do soon when I get the chance. Another thing I'll do soon when I get the chance is a follow-up fishing discussion. I went to a small local lake the other day. When was it? Day before yesterday. And I caught a nice trout and 4 bass. And that was over a period of only about an hour of fishing, so I was happy. And the really great thing was nobody was there. It was a very pristine outdoor experience. do a video on is this book, Get Started with Fly Fishing. Because on my bucket list, one of the things that's on my bucket list is to go up into the Cascades or the Sierras and catch a golden trout, which is a species that only exists up above about 8 or 10,000 feet. I'll catch a golden trout on a fly rod using an artificial fly. I have never actually done fly fishing, but of course that's the purest form of fishing, right? At least if you're a fly fisherman, that's what they would say. And this has lots of instruction and graphics all the way through it on all the techniques. Let's find some stuff. Oh, there's some fish species. And this tells you how you do it. I'd have to get a fly rod, but they're not very expensive. And there's used fishing equipment stores around here that have that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna try that in the future. Alright, so I think I'm going to wrap it up for now. And once again, you can tell me whether you prefer this stereo microphone as is, or whether you prefer the echo effect. I suspect there'll be some of each, because on Joanne's channel, the comments are saying, we just started using this thing, this new Tascam. The comments are running about 2-to-1 in favor of the echo, but the ones who like it, there are many that really like it, but there are others that say you have an annoying echo in your, so you can't please everyone. You can't please all the people all the time. Not when it comes to ASMR video, anyway. Alright, everyone. Someone said you should ASMR and drive sometime. Maybe I will. I'll have someone else hold the camera, show you some concrete examples of Oregon buffoons. Don't get me wrong, I love Oregon. I even love the buffoons, just not when they're behind the wheel. That's the definition of driverless cars. Anyway, I had one on the way home today. One was driving at a crawl, barely moving, going at 3-toed sloth speed. Here's a 3-toed sloth, okay? This is how they move their foot when they're walking on a branch, right? So one car was going at 3-toed sloth speed, but another guy came roaring up behind me, tailgating me, and decided to pass on a blind curve, double yellow. So, and then once he made his unsafe pass, he went about 70 miles an hour in a 55 zone for a good length of time. And then the other car turned off, and I eventually caught up to Mr. Maniac, and not by driving faster than him, but because he had slowed to a crawl himself and proceeded to drive at a crawl for some time. This is how inane some drivers are. There's no logic behind what they do. But what can I say? Hopefully, when I'm older, then I'll appreciate living in an area where I don't have to drive too fast. But right now, I'm still driving in my California mode most of the time. I have to adjust better. I do love Oregon. I used to hate that traffic down in the Bay Area. I sure am doing a lot of rambling for a guy who said he's going to wrap up his video. Is it better further away? Or is it better closer up? If you like the sound of the ice cubes, that is. That is a tasty burger. May I have some of your delicious beverage to wash it down? I bet a lot of you know where that line comes from, what movie it comes from.